Hello and welcome back. So our user has now access to the this page here. So what we want to do here is to check to see if this user is actually, let's explore what's inside the session. So what I would do is I'll go to the let me close all these files that are here. What I want to do is go to the controller. This is the dashboard controller because that's where we're at. It's not doing anything but just displaying the view. So what I want to do is deal with the session. So I will add the request class here. So I want to see what it's looking at to know if the user is logged in. So here we're going to say print. Let me echo some pre-tags because it's better to see arrays using pre-tags. Then I'll say print readable here. And of course I'm going to do the request and put the session like that, and oh, like this. Is this correct? I have no idea. Okay, so let's see what we get over there. I'll refresh, and this is what we get. So this is what is inside the session. So as you can see, there's a token here, okay? But the important part is this. So login, and then there's a value here. So this is the token for the logged in user, and then there's an ID there. So this ID is the ID of the logged in user here. So there's ID 1. If there was a different user, there would be ID 2. So you can go through the session if you want and get a key that starts with login web here, and then check the value that will tell you the ID of the current user. All right, but we don't need to worry about any of this. In order to log out a user, we don't need to do none of this. So instead, what we will do is, let me go to the documentation. I'll refresh this. Let's go to the documentation. But before we do that, let's create a logout controller. Oh, we already have that, which we created in a previous video here. So all we have to do is create a function here. So we're going to say function logout. Maybe let's just say index, because it's not like we're going to make a lot of functions in here anyway. So I'm going to redirect the user here. But before I do any of that, Laravel provides us with information on how to do that, how to regenerate the session. So if you go to authentication here, this is under the security authentication, and then you click logout. So it will take you to this part where it talks about logging out. So at this point, what you need is to do the auth logout and this right here. So let me copy all that and let me explain what this does. So I will paste here like so. So we have the auth class, the one that we used to log in. This is the one that we use here. So auth logout, we log out the user, and then we invalidate the session, and then the same session is we regenerate a new token. So the reason we do all this is in case somebody hijacked your session, their session will be over as well. And then here we're just redirecting to the home page. Now, of course, we're going to need request here. So I'll copy that and put it here. But then we need to cast it as a request class. So I'll put that there. But we also need the auth class here because we're using it. So I'm going to duplicate that. And here I will write support because that's the namespace that it lives in, facades, and then auth, like so. Great. So now we have our class, which is working here, log out, and there we go. login. Now, there are times when, okay, let's test this before we go any further. So I'm just going to go here, and at the very end, in fact, let me just put the logout here on the, now instead of redirecting to the home page, I want to redirect to the dashboard, like so. Just to see, this is not what you should be doing. You should redirect to the home page, but anyway, it's not a big deal. Let me redirect to the home page actually. What I will do instead, because we have this header on the views, if I go to dashboard here, we have this header there. So let me add one more item to this header, which is logout and login. So here I'm just going to say login, and then here it will be logout. So of course I need to change these guys as well, logout, and change the link to login. Okay, this is all good, but the problem is I have to change it on every page. So instead, what I will do is cut it out. Then I'll just use the blade include. I'll just say include, like so, and I will include a file called header, just like that. That should be enough, and save that. So here I'll go to views and create the file, save, and I'll say header.blade.php, and just put that HTML in there, like so. Okay, good. So now when I go to other places that I want that in, I can just include it there. So instead of all this, I'll just add include, which I can just copy from here, paste it here, do the same thing on the, okay, the dashboard has it, the sign up should have it as well, and what else, the welcome page as well, the home page, no problem. Login, logout, okay. Register, this is what the default value is for Laravel, so let's see that in a moment. Okay, so dashboard, login, sign up, okay, pretty good. Let's refresh. Now we have the logout here, so if I click on logout, what happens? I go to the not found. Well, the reason it's not found is, let's see here. Let's go to the routes, shall we? And at the routes, you see that we don't have a route for that at all. So instead, let's duplicate this and add a route. So I'll say logout. But here we send it to the index class because that's the index function, sorry. And then here, let me just make sure I put logout controller, like so. Okay, so let me go back, dashboard, refresh, logout. Okay, so at least we have an error. So it's saying the get method is not supported. Great. So here it always has to be a get method because we're not posting anything to the logout page at all. So change that to get, and let's try again, fingers crossed, logout. Okay, so the target class logout controller does not exist. So let's go back, refresh. So I'm sure you've guessed by now, if you've been following along, why this is not working. It's because we haven't added it out here. So let's just add it there and put the word logout, like so. There we go. So refresh, and let's click logout again, fingers crossed. There we go. So we are back to the home page with this now here. So I can click on the login page if I want to, or I can try the dashboard. So let me go back home and let me click on the dashboard. Then now I'm told to log in. Yeah. Try the dashboard again, nothing. Login, I'm already on the login page. Alright, so I hope you have learned something new, and I will see you in the next video.